Harvey Marceline, who is a trans woman from New York City, that's my town,
New York.
83 years young, just got off of parole in 2019 for stabbing her girlfriend, right? This is already from a 1986 conviction, has been found and been arrested with another gruesome killing in the middle of Brooklyn because this person left a full decapitated, de-armed, de-legged torso in an open trash bag on a Brooklyn street this week.
This trash bag, I believe,
83 years old.
Weren't we discussing this with Marcus? And Marcus was saying this seems like a hit. And you were saying this seems as if maybe someone just lost a cadaver. But this is very interesting. It turns out it's an 83-year-old, an octogenarian. But the killings go back for Harvey. They go back to two prior killings dating back to 1963. So from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and today, they just haven't stopped. I'm starting to think Harvey may not be ready for the outside world.
Harvey's a stone cold.
Go back into the prison.
Seriously, sorry, Harvey's a stone cold fucking demon. And at 83 years, I don't even know how you do this all physically. So they found this on the street. First of all, a body was found a week ago on the corner of Atlantic and Pennsylvania Avenues. This is down outside of Cypress Hills in Brooklyn. It was just outside a construction safety gear shop. And someone who noticed, they said basically they're like, I think there's a torso in a fucking bag out here. Like literally just called the police and like,
what was that?
Okay. And then they went and look at it because then they found a leg just sticking out of a pile of trash.
That's not good, man. I mean, is there anything, obviously you're dead, you're decapitated, but it's a little bit rude to just throw my torso in the middle of the road, trash my leg. I like make an art structure out of it. Do something where at least my memory can be sort of like, shown to the world.
Something interesting. Content is what you mean. You hope your corpse will create content for someone else.
Absolutely. And that's why I always believe that Charles Manson should have just given his love to Star, and then Star could have Charles Manson's body, and it would be rolling around the streets of LA as we speak. But the 68-year-old victim, Susan Lyden, that is the torso. That was the person. That's who the torso belonged to.
Yeah.
So you know that things didn't work out great for Susan when you're like, that torso belonged to Susan because, of course, we assume it's now detached from the rest of her body.
Well, they went and they looked, because apparently she was found, they had a connection at this LGBT center in Brooklyn where they met.
So this is her hunting grounds. This woman's hunting grounds was the LGBTQ center, which is very sad.
Yes, and Harvey seems to be the type of person that, I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say some of this is out of jealousy. And that when you spend 50 years in jail, because then she, her entire life, 50 of her 83 years have been spent incarcerated. So,
she killed two people.
Oh, yes. And the last one was for this run of 36 years, or was it from 1986 to 2019?
They kind of gave Harvey a freebie with the 63 double murders.
Yes.
They were like, all right, we'll put you away for 17 years. Go have a good life after that. But then Harvey was like, I got a passion. And goddamn it, I'm following it.
But if you look at even just the way it tracks, so Harvey Marceline was found guilty of murder in 1963 for stabbing a girlfriend, right? For killing, this was the first living girlfriend. For 1963, for shooting her living girlfriend, Jacqueline Bonds, right? At the time, Marceline was also facing an attempted rape charge involving another woman. And they gave, they gave Marceline life in prison after jurors were unable to agree on whether the crime justified a death penalty. She was then released on parole in 1984, what was called lifetime parole, immediately stabbed another girlfriend less than a year later and leaving her body again, originally in a trash bag on the street near Central Park. So this is her MO.
And that was under Ronald Reagan, of course. And of course, how HW was able to get elected was the Willie Horton ad that they ran against Dukakis in '88. But it seems like Mr. Ronnie Reagan had a similar policy that led to somebody's death.
Yes, and so the way they tracked her down is unfortunately when they, her latest victim, when they went and searched for Susan Lyden, they found CCTV footage of Susan Lyden walking into this apartment building with Harvey Marceline, right? And to be honest, this must be a spry-ass 83-year-old. Like, dude, you're working out in jail, I guess. I don't know what kind of fucking, I don't know what Wheaties she's eating. She's eating a lot of egg whites or something. I've been watching this Instagram account called The Liver King, where it's this big, huge guy just eating raw calf hearts and, eating, marrow out of the bone. He seems real energetic.
Why?
He's forcing his family to do it.
That can't be healthy.
The family is, the family looks scared of him, but they also all just literally drink blood all day. And they're very clear skinned.
I am not, I'm just not a marrow fan. I still don't believe it's dinner.
You should, apparently if you eat it
you-
raw and covered in blood, this is real, that it's supposed to, I guess, taste good.
No.
It's not. I can't. I love marrow, but it needs to be caramelized.
Hank the Tank doesn't even do that. Hank the Tank eats pizza rolls.
Yeah. And so they went in, they caught CCTV, they saw Susan Layden going into this building, and then they did not see her come out. They
That's
only
a
saw
problem.
this woman come out, Harvey Marceline. She came out, and I guess slowly but surely putting out the trash. And then they found this, which is incredibly sad. It's just wild, I guess, because when they finally went to investigate, they found Susan Layden's decapitated head. They found a head part in the living room with a circular saw, and found a leg, her other detached leg, in Harvey Marceline's wheelchair.
Harvey versus Robert Durst has to be a movie.
Oh my God, that's like Chucky versus the Leprechaun. That is a good mixture. Those two fighting each other, man.
Chucky versus Leprechaun has to happen.
Wow, that's a really fun idea because they are probably the same weight.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about this one thing real quick that I missed talking about last week, and it's really important because of the things around it. So have you done any reading about this? In Japan, there was an 1,000-year-old, what they called a killing stone.
Yeah.
It's said to contain an ancient demon. And you're like, great, good. You got that rock there? Okay, excellent. So we've taken care of the demon, right? It's in the rock. They're like, yes, absolutely. Absolutely taken care of. Don't even worry about it, sir. That rock cracked open in mysterious circumstances, and we don't know what happened.
Oh my God, this is horrified.
Now, according to the local legend, it was a killing stone that trapped the spirit of a malevolent being.
Oh,
right?
no.
They're saying that maybe like there's some long story that's attached to it. I really want to get into it. It's by Tomomo no Mai. Oh, wow, I nailed that.
Maybe.
Was an ancient demon from Japanese mythology.
Oh my God, you just said its name.
Oh, it's gonna be in the form of a beautiful woman, right? Now, the story was supposed to be part of this. The creature was supposed to be released like kind of fucking Pumpkinhead, which is metal, right?
Pretty sweet.
It was supposed to kill Emperor Toba, right? Emperor Toba, ruler of Japan from 1107 to 1123. Looking at the paperwork here.
All right, not the longest run.
Now,
but that's okay.
Sure. But so I guess this demon was corralled. It was put inside this rock, and they're like, "We got it, right?" And so now what they're saying is, apparently, what they're saying is, this is why I'm suspicious.
Okay.
They're like, natural circumstances has caused this, right? They're like, don't worry. What we've seen now is that it's water damage on the rock. They said that it created little hairline fractures within the rock, and then just happenstance, the rock broke on its own.
Okay, well, this is all in the small town of Nasu, and it is a volcanic stone, so perhaps that makes it stronger or weaker. Let us know. I don't know. Does that make it bigger and better and badder, or does that make it more susceptible to cracks? Either way, what do we know about cracks? Sometimes it leads to freedom. Look at the Liberty Bell. So maybe this demon comes
Well, sometimes
and
it's just
liberates
nice,
us from our own lives.
or it tortures you when you have a man working on your home. Because that crack, honestly, is like those eyes from the paintings in the Haunted Mansion, where that ass crack from a plumber, it follows you around the house.
Yeah, they say that if you touch this rock, you die.
And apparently they said it releases a spewing poisonous gas from time to time, which is why they call it a killing rock. But this is the reason, again, the reason why I'm suspicious is because if this is really a tourist spot, wouldn't they lean into the demon angle? Right? Like, if you're a tourist spot, be like, I don't know what's going to happen with this demon.
I think they believe it's really bad, bro.
But I think that in a way they would be like, to me, that's how you know it was fake. If they make kind of like a branded, like, now, just for now, for you, we got 10% off if you want to come hunt this demon, right? Like, they could do that. But the fact that they're trying to overly explain it, just being like, no, very common for a 1,000-year-old rock to just randomly split. Sure it is, but is it?
I don't know.
We don't know, and guess what? And no one knows anything. And I think that's also what's really important is that
archaeologists might know on this situation.
They don't know jack shit, man.
Well,
everything they do is made up. Every rock's different. Fucking, you don't know. They don't know. Bones be different, man.
Them. Sometimes they can tell what years certain things were occurring because of rock settlement.
Yeah,
sediment.
But guess what? What if? All right, what if? Yeah, those are the rocks we can get at, bro. There are rocks that we can't even fucking get to. Right? No, listen. Oh, antediluvian, pro-diluvian? I'm pro-diluvian, dog. I'm pro the flood. But I also believe the idea is like, what if there was a massive catastrophe, right? Wiped out fucking hundreds of years of human development.
What's diluvian?
It means like a flood-like event. A flood-like event. Huh. So like antediluvian.
All the words you don't know, diluvian is when you do.
It's because of Graham Hancock and old episodes of Rogan.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, he said diluvian. Rogan has said the word diluvian almost as many times as he said the word COVID.